This is Pat Soundbytes Unplugged. Unplugged, the podcast where all the artists go to tell it as it is. Careers, music, tours, and more. And here's your host, the man that refuses to eat squid, Pat Calamari.
I am Pat Calamari, host of Pat Soundbytes Unplugged podcast, which is just continues to kick ass worldwide. Hundreds of downloads each and every day, and I can't thank you folks enough for supporting me, letting me do what I love to do, and that's chatting with all these great artists and continuing to support their music, specifically new music. That's what artists do. You know, they're sitting home, they're thinking about, well, they should be on the road, but you know what, let's write another song. Anybody can play the hits, but not anybody plays the new music. But I do. That's what I do. Keeping new music alive on the radio and also on video on my IGTV when I do a Zoom chat with the artists. Anyway, episode number 86 is another good one. He's a blues rocker, been around for a while. He's, what did he win? He was nominated for 2018 Blues Music Award for his album Hold On, which really did rather well. He did he's a 4-time Blues Music Award and 2015 British Blues Award nominee, and has played with a variety of popular artists, including Joe Bonamessa, and a 3-year stint as the lead guitarist of the fabulous Thunderbirds. I'm talking Mr. Kirk Fletcher, great singer-songwriter and blues guitarist, a rocker in his own right, and he's got a new album out called My Blues Pathway, and got some great tracks on it. Ain't No Cure for the Downhearted and No Place to Go. And just officially, let's see, officially comes out on Friday, September the 25th. It's on the Cleopatra Records, and it's all good. And you can find Kurt on YouTube all the time, man. He's always doing something. He's putting a video up, playing a tune, showing how he came up with the tune, or showing you how to play a certain tune. Just a super cool guy. And I had a great chat with him, Kurt, calling from his home in Switzerland. How cool is that? Got to add that to my bucket list. So, episode 86, Mr. Kirk Fletcher. Go out and buy his new album, if you would, please. He can rock it. He's a great guy. So sit back and enjoy the ride, and I can't thank you enough. Live, love, and laugh a lot, because life is way too short.
Hi, this is Kirk Fletcher, and you're listening to Pat Soundbytes Unplugged.
WBXO Classic Rock Redefined in conjunction with Pat Soundbytes Unplugged podcast. Such an honor to have a real deal bluesman, guitarist, 4-time Blues Music Award and 2015 British Blues Award nominee, who's played with a variety of popular artists, including Joe Bonamessa, and a 3-year stint as the lead guitarist of the fabulous Thunderbirds. I'm talking the amazing and wonderful Kirk Fletcher. How are you, Kirk?
I am doing great. I am doing just great. How are you doing?
We're doing great here in New York, and what an honor to have you on the line calling in from Switzerland. I got to add that. I will definitely add that to my bucket list. I tell my wife all the time, we got to get out of the States once in a while and check out the beautiful world that we have all over the globe. So good for you. First of all, congratulations on the new album. Kurt got an album releasing on Friday, September 25th. Brand new album entitled My Blues Pathway on the Cleopatra Records, and it's available right now. Pre-order on Kurt's website at kurtfletcherband.com, and a limited edition purple vinyl, which is really cool. That's really got my attention. So, yeah. So really cool. So you got to go get that while you can. How you making out there, and how you handling with this whole pandemic? And is there anything crazy that they're doing in Switzerland compared to here in the States? Lockdown and no shows.
I mean, it's definitely, a little bit better here than it is in the States, but it's still pretty slow for everybody. It's like one of those things where you definitely are forced to have to wait it out and see how it goes on all fronts, It's just one of those things you have to take one day at a time, and, it's a little bit more open here, but, the venues and the festivals and all that kind of stuff, everybody's taking a big hit, so... I had a gig that I done in Italy, but it was a smaller thing, and I was happy to do it, and it's still sort of, it's just one day at a time, kind of.
There you go. Yeah, same here. We can't. I can't believe my last live show was in February, and I'm like, wow. Yeah, the industry is taking a big hit, but. I got to say, staying connected with the fans is very important. And I get a kick out of you doing your videos out there that you're putting out, whether it's guitar lessons, whether it's talking about how to play a certain song, whether it's how you got the inspiration. Yeah. So I think that's pretty cool that you decided to take that on. Talk to me about that.
Well, I decided to, just try and tell a little bit about my story and talk about some of my influence, because there's a lot of information out there about a lot of different things, and I figured it would be a good time, since I had some extra time on my hands, to talk about some of my career, some of my influences, some of the records that I love, and guitar. Talking about more kind of, instead of guitar instruction, just more music. Talking about what, moves me as a musician starting out, some of my favorite things. Yeah.
I think it's great, and I love Ain't No Cure for the Downhearted, and I mean, obviously, I'm thinking you certainly wrote that way before this pandemic struck, and it's so kind of relevant of what we're dealing with today. Talk to me about that wonderful track.
Well, as always, I like to kind of marry older blues lyrics and certain words and stuff. So I think the word that really kind of, touched me was like downhearted. Just that word, downhearted. And I was like, man, this is a word that's been used in blues songs and soul songs. And I was like, man, ain't no cure for the downhearted. That makes sense, So I just kind of worked on it a little and worked on it, and then, threw away a bunch of drafts and worked on it some more and said exactly what I wanted to try and say. And it, and it wound up like a lot of my songs having like a few different topics that I address in it, like the first part of it, talking about being in a crowded room, and all of that kind of stuff. And we can all relate to, feeling alone and stuff with even people around sometimes. So talk about that. And then I thought about, dreaming as a kid of one day playing on stage with some of my heroes, and do we still dream? So it's just a little bit of everything I've tried to put in there, And then it took on a whole new meaning, after all of this stuff, happened this year.
Yeah. No, it's a great song. I've been playing it since I got a copy of it. I'm like, wow, this is good. And the video is cool, and it's very relevant. You mentioned about growing up and dreaming, Kirk. Who inspired you to pick up the guitar? Was there anybody, family members, or mom or dad or aunt, uncles, or said, hey, got you into the love of music?
My older brother played guitar, and that's definitely the person who got me excited about the guitar and about music, and watching him play in my father's church is really what kind of, lit the fire on my career, having him there and being able to see how he played, and the music he listened to is still to this day a big influence on me,
Excellent. Well, that's cool. You mentioned we talked, about this great track, Ain't No Cure for the Downhearted. Your songwriting process, Kirk, talk to me about that. Does that start with the guitar? Do you come down with a lick or a lyric and work your way around that? How does that? How do you go about handling writing some of these incredible tracks?
Well, writing songs for me is always, for some reason, it's always lyric first. I kind of have a split thing going on there. I'll think about the lyric, I'll think about the songs, and I'll pretty much have a draft, and then I'll think about the music that'll go with the lyric, So it's not like I think about the guitar part or something like that, and then try and fit some words around it. It's sort of like the other way around. It's almost like I'm a sideman with my own song. Like I'll have the lyrics and figure out how it goes, in my head, and then I'll okay, what kind of chords and what melody and stuff do I want on this song, So that's usually how it is. Lyrics first.
Besides the obviously the lack of live shows, and you're able to get one in there in Italy, any crazy challenges with releasing and working on this album and getting it out, if any?
Well, not really. Not really, other than, maybe going on the road supporting it. Other than that, it's pretty much business as usual. And I think you maybe might have a more receptive audience that'll hear it because, people in their daily lives are so consumed with everything that's going on, and maybe more people might hear it. So it's really, it's like I don't really think it's much in that way of, being a distraction with all of this going on. It seems weird, but I kind of see it that way, other than, supporting it, going out on the road and doing the things that you would physically go out and do to support a record. Online and everything, and
I love it because, as you just said, it's like a double-edged sword. I mean, we're all pretty much locked down, so it's a great time, I think, to put out new music for people to grab it. Because if folks were, doing their normal every day, going to work, going on vacation, traveling, and you don't put out a video with it, it kind of gets lost in the shuffle. So today, I think it's really, I'm glad to see a lot of artists, didn't get nervous and going, oh man, I can't support it. But you know what? People are itching for new stuff, and I think it's great.
I think so. I think people are itching for new stuff and new music, and they have time to listen to it. So, And
I think you're probably so excited to even put this album out, on the follow-up of Hold On, which did really, really well. I mean, that thing was on the charts, number 12, entered at number 15, the Billboard Blues Album Chart, nominated in 2019 for the Blues Album Award in Best Contemporary Blues Album. I mean, you're like, that album was so good. I'm sure you were so excited to say, I got to keep this snowball effect going.
I was really happy because I, wrote all the songs and wrote all the music and everything for that record, so I was really happy to finally do that in my career, do everything, sing all the songs, write all the songs and everything, and have it be received that well. It was great. I was very happy with that.
Yeah, no, it's a great, great album, and I'm definitely happy for you. In this album, you feature a mix of originals and covers of blues classics, Sonny Boy Williamson, Chris Kane, A.C. Reed, Juke Boy Bonner, in addition to two songs co-written with Robert Craze, longtime bassist Richard Cousins. What was the inspiration that you wanted to spotlight and do the covers of some of your favorite blues artists, as I just mentioned?
Well, I just thought it was time, to do some covers, because I really like a lot of records that have covers by other artists. And everybody done covers from Muddy Waters to Albert King to B.B. King. All of these great bluesmen done covers before. So I thought it was just time to maybe, dip into that well and just think about some of the great songs, and really the thought process was really lyrically. What do these songs say, and how do they relate to the rest of the record? You know, and I just thought Juke Boy Bonner, Life Gave Me a Dirty Deal. Wow.
Yeah.
People can relate to that. You know, it's like they smile because they're happy, but you really don't know how the person feels. And I thought a lot of people could relate to that.
Absolutely. You know? And it's nice, you know, paying tribute to the great blues and the greatness of these songs, because they kind of get lost in the shuffle. You know, I've been blessed to hang out with the great Billy Gibbons and Sonny Landreth and Eric Johnson, and Billy would just say, you know, you got to dig, man. Go back and dig and listen to some of this great stuff that were out there way back in the day. Walter Trout. Walter was another one. Walter put out a whole album of covers, and he said, Pat, man, listen to my version, but go back to the original. You know, and see where I got it from. So that was, there's nothing like the blues. Oh, my goodness, yes. Hey,
absolutely.
I talked about these guitar players, and describe your tone, Kurt, when it comes to playing guitar. I mean, Billy, everybody's got a different feel. Can you describe how your feel is when you grab, you know, whatever guitar you're going to play on, and describe your tone, if you can?
Well, I think my tone is really just me. I mean, I think it kind of goes beyond just the guitar, a certain guitar, or anything. I pretty much sound the same on an acoustic guitar or whatever, you know, and that's just from years of doing it and learning how to just express myself exactly like I want to. Technically, I probably haven't got that much better, but I feel like I've grown with expressing myself better and going to that place where I want to be sooner. So I would just say it's a clear, clean tone and just, you know, not a lot of extra stuff.
Right. Well, right. You know what? Sometimes less is better. You know, it's.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great to have all the bells and whistles and, you know, the amps and what you add on to add more distortion. But sometimes, you know, I think B.B. King always said it, you know, kind of less is better. You know, go easy, use the right strings. You don't have to kill yourself on doing it or trying to make it as heavy as possible.
Well, yeah, I want to try and accomplish being a blues stylist, and when the person says, "Hey, that's Kirk Fletcher," and that just goes in with everybody else. You know, I just want to have my own path and my own way to do it, and everybody else can have fun and do what their path is. You know, we can all get along and be in harmony together.
You know, it's funny that you said that. I read it. I read an article. Somebody talked about. I think it was the Hold On album, and somebody says. If you mix Joe Bonamessa and Robin Ford and a little Robert Cray, you get an amazing Kirk Fletcher. And I thought that was really cool.
Wow.
And I wanted to definitely share that with you. I thought that was. I said, "Wow, that's a pretty good analogy." And I wonder if he even knows that. That's really cool.
Wow. Well, hey, those are some pretty big shoes.
Yeah.
Do that little thing.
Oh, my goodness. There's so much good blues out there. I mean, Albert Castiglia, Eric Gales. I mean, I got to meet Eric, and I'm like, oh, my goodness, watching him live, I'm pinching myself going, is this really, can somebody play like this?
I do the same thing every time I see him play. Yeah, absolutely.
Kurt, has there been one particular moment in your musical career so far that you're most proud of? If maybe more than one.
There are so many, really. I mean, I know that's sort of like the cop-out answer, but it's so many and so many different things, you know. I mean...
I know, it's limited just to one.
I would say, you know, for a while I was doing this club, and UK called The Borderline, and I would do that like every year for like maybe 3 or 4 years, and just seeing familiar faces every year, and then playing my songs, my show, you know, and I could just do exactly what I want. I could play loud and just get in the moment, and the crowd was really great, and I felt like we were kind of growing together.
Nice.
That's a really standout moment. Every time I know I'm going to play the Borderline, it was always fun. The place closed down before Corona or anything, but it closed down. But still, I just always, you know, have great memories of playing at that place. And, you know, a couple places in L.A. where I'm from, too, you know, Cadillac Jack's Blues Weekend, you know, he would do as a little place I would play. And, yeah, it was always a pleasure and fun. And those are the real things. You know, when I can play for the audience and they're right there and I can talk to them and they can feel what's going on through the music, and it's something special to me, you know.
And there's got to be no better feeling to see the audience even sing along and know your songs and sing back with you. I mean, there's got to be no better feeling than that.
Heavy.
I mean, that's like that's the best. Like somebody really gets it and took a song of mine and they're singing it back to me. It's like, wow, man, that's like.
Yeah, I think that's the borderline is really like that, you know, and seeing people do that at the Borderline. That was really amazing.
Wow. And then, when you're not writing and performing, Kirk, talk to me about the non-musical Kirk. What do you do? What are your outside interests and hobbies?
Well, I have no outside hobbies, and when I'm not playing music or something like that, I'm listening to music and I'm drinking coffee. That's pretty much it. This is, you know, reading magazines, reading up on my favorite musicians, playing records, looking at YouTube, messing around with my guitars. This is, you know, this can keep me busy for years, you know. There's always something to listen to, you know.
No, I hear you. Now I find myself doing the same thing. Is there anybody new and fresh that you said, wow, listen to this person? Anybody in particular that you're listening to that's up and coming? That's caught your attention?
Oh, there's so many people, and even, you know, some of them are my dear friends, too, but people like Josh Smith, Guy King, Joey Landreth, Blake Mills, I mean, just so many guys. Joe Bonamassa is always inspiring. Just so many different younger players. Kingfish,
oh, yeah,
so inspiring, you know, I mean, so many guys.
What's the with you in Switzerland? What's the music industry like over there? I mean, for a person that's never been there, I mean, I know they always had, you know, the big music festivals are always been big over in Europe and some of those countries over there. But what's it? I mean, can you walk the streets without people like get autographs and driving you crazy, or is it big on the radio? Is it how do they what? Give me an idea. Paint a picture for me about Switzerland and music.
Well, Switzerland and music has a long history of embracing the arts, especially the American arts. You know, be it art, be it music, and festivals. They're like. Montreux Festival is one of the most legendary festivals. Lucerne Blues Festival is one of the greatest blues festivals you could ever wish for. Basel, Bern, all these different places have their own kind of blues community and have either a club or a festival or something like that, you know. Whereas on an every day-to-day basis in the States, you would have, you know, blues in Chicago 7 nights a week.
Right.
I don't know if it's really so much to having 7 nights a week, but the blues is really like an event here, and it's like something that people really, you know, it's something really special because it's from far away, you know. So, so it's like I like both. You know, both things, but the scene here, they definitely have blues. I mean, pretty much anywhere you go in Europe, they have some sort of blues festival, blues club, you know.
Oh, that's all good. That's
It's
great.
really cool.
No, that's really good. Well, I know my time is running out, and you got another wonderful person waiting to get the opportunity to chat with you. The album is called My Blues Pathway. It's available digital pack CD as well as limited edition purple vinyl, and I love Ain't No Cure for the Downhearted. I love No Place to Go, and it seems like a great follow-up to your masterpiece of Hold On. So certainly I wish you the best of success with it all, Kirk, and I hope you've enjoyed the conversation as much as I have.
Absolutely.
Check it out. Go and buy the pre-order now. Go to Kirk's website, KirkFletcherBand.com. You can find him on Facebook, and you can certainly find him on YouTube and enjoy him doing the videos and talking about his songs and his inspirations and all that fun. Kirk, much success. Thank you again for your time today.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right, my man.